This just in, Taylor Swift needs to seriously get the fuck out of the closet.
What's up, you guys? It's Kales.
And I'm Mel.
And welcome back to episode 5 of our podcast,
Get the fuck out of the closet.
Cue the track.
Oh, drama. Oh, drama. No one likes lesbian drama. No one likes lesbian drama.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
Yeah, and before we get started, I'm going to be clear. We're going to dedicate 99% of this episode to Taylor Swift and what we hope is a potential coming out. But as always, let's run through the current Topia drama because, you know, we love the drama.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, first up, let's start easy. Soph, Alyssa, I mean, they seem to be doing their thing. Who knows how serious it is? It doesn't need to be serious. They're not, portraying it anymore.
I mean, they might just be doing a thing too to, make a little something jealous.
Yeah, I agree.
She's got nothing to lose right now. You might as well.
No, and I mean, they also are both single, so you might as well hang out with someone else who's single and going through what you've been going through and, have a buddy. And so, fuck yeah, I ship it.
Yeah, why not?
Cute.
Why not?
I think it was, there's a lot of conversation, upgrades, downgrades, whatever. But I think, just, vibe-wise, they look good together.
I agree.
And I feel like they both have a similar social media presence where it's, dances, thirst traps, whatever you want to call it. So, so we'll see what we see from there. But obviously that's tied to the bigger drama of Jojo and Avery.
Of course.
Yeah.
We have to talk about that.
Yeah, so, I mean, the PDA is still out there. They're really full sending this relationship. We've gotten confirmation. The actual straight newspapers and magazines have now caught on.
Yeah.
And they're posting about it, too.
Big time.
Yeah, Daily Mail, remember they stole my head and made a TikTok about
Daily
it.
Mail's always stealing your stuff.
I know. I'm
get your own content, Daily Mail.
You guys literally gotta start paying me. I know how copyright law works and they're getting away with it because they're changing it enough, but still, I'm on to you, Daily Mail. You could just hire me. I mean, I don't want to work for you, but come on. I feel like it could be work out. So I guess the most recent drama was, I don't know where we're gonna be in a couple days when the podcast comes out, but was that the old TikTok lesbians, who I was just telling Mel, apparently back in the day, there was a group of TikTok lesbians. Avery was one of them. They ran the space. They are now saying that Avery told them that she's using Jojo for clout.
Which do you think is true?
I mean, okay, so, Dallas made a compelling case that she was doing it to, protect Jojo and, wanted her to know, but, apparently these girls are, known for back and forth drama, and I think at the end of the day, all we can do is, warn Jojo about things like this that are said, and then, not that she needs us to warn her, but, even by Dallas saying it, Jojo can then use that to, decide for herself, what's true and what's not true.
Well, it's just, where's the credibility as well?
Yeah, and there's no proof, and I'm a huge proof. You just need one thing.
And we've seen nothing.
And something specific. Dallas also said in her video, Avery, doesn't wear these ab suits and do all this stuff. I don't know where it came from. I'm she was doing that with Soph. Your timeline's messed up. There's some inconsistent facts. You don't have any proof.
Yeah, it's completely out of left field.
Yeah, and obviously, Jojo is, actually famous, so, Avery obviously benefits from being aligned with Jojo, but she's taking a lot of heat for it. And obviously, if this was a big plan of Avery's, it backfired because I think she's getting more negative opinions than positive right now.
Yeah.
And so, how can you say she's doing something for clout when it's not even really working out for her correctly like that?
The bottom line is, yeah, Jojo's famous, Avery's famous too, but, they're still teenage lesbians. They're gonna break up, they're gonna cheat on each other, they're gonna make up, there's gonna be jealousy. Doesn't make it all true, though.
Yeah. We'll just see where it goes. All we can do is watch from the outside and see what happens. I think we're getting a little bit tired of the narrative.
Yeah.
It's repetitive at some point. It just keeps going, back and forth. He said, she said, and, hopefully they just all move on, have new happy relationships.
Yeah, I agree. Now this Dallas character is just happy she's being talked about.
Yeah, but it's funny, though, because a bunch of those girls who, are relevant in that circle, deleted their social media. I'm not sure why. I heard there was, huge drama, which led everyone to delete their social media. But,
they got spooked about colleges. Some
yeah,
shit like that.
No, I don't know. I think they were getting a lot of hate, and it just, wasn't positive anymore.
Yeah.
And, they got canceled. I think effectively got canceled.
Oof.
So, I don't even know what they gained from getting their name back talked about. I think it's, for me, it comes off, if they are making this up and exaggerating, it definitely comes off as, jealousy towards Avery. And, of their group of Hey Mamas who's actually made it, one, Avery's one of the only ones still on TikTok, making a living out of it.
Yeah, she's killing it.
And so, too, now she's with Jojo Siwa and could be making more of a career out of it. So, sometimes you just get lucky that the person you end up, falling in love with comes with perks. And,
part of
how
it, I
can
think,
you blame Avery for loving, if they love each other, I don't know. But, how could you blame them for getting together? Famous people need love, too.
No, they have common interests, you
Yeah.
know? And, I don't know, they have to deal with similar stuff.
Yeah, so, I agree. I think they're very compatible.
Yeah, no, it makes it relatable for sure. I see the match.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. But for now, now, I'm team everybody. I'm always team JoJo because she's part of our icon over here. I mean, she's just what JoJo. She did was awesome. And we'll get there in a second, but like I think right now JoJo is just like killing the top of the lesbian crowd, and like if Taylor comes out as a lesbian also, like we are gonna have some competition, the older lesbians versus the younger. But if Taylor comes out as bisexual, it won't be as dramatic for JoJo. She'll
I don't know.
still have the
I think she's definitely
going.
gonna come out as bisexual.
That would be tragic for me.
I think she will though. Okay, come on. The hair in the music video.
I know,
you need to
but
calm down.
I think she couldn't make her hair the lesbian flag. That's like way too obvious. Now she's wearing a lot of lesbian stuff.
Yeah, I saw those videos.
Yeah, so she's wearing like lesbian shirts, and she posts things on Lesbian Visibility Day. Me out now on
but
Lesbian
not like
Visibility
bi Visibility Day.
No, and I again think if she was
out now.
I think if Taylor was truly bi and she knew she was truly bi, she would have come out a long time ago, because I don't think it would have been that big of a deal. Not that being bisexual is not equally as like a big of a deal, but she could have like, you know, then she would just still be dating the men that she's dating and sometimes dating women. I don't think it would have been as like drastic as her to come out as like a whole like charade that she's been playing.
No, not to say anything about the bi experience, but it just like hits a little softer, you know? Like when I was like, Mom, I'm gay. She's like, no, but you had boyfriends. Like you're bisexual.
I'm like, no, I'm
not.
like,
okay, call it what you want. Call it what you want, Mom.
It was a phase, and I think
I don't know why that just like turns people off so much. Like I'm just not interested in it, you know?
And I mean we talk about this, but like again, like Harry Styles, like everyone wants to believe that he's into men, and because he is also comes off as bisexual, and so like everyone will just assume Taylor's into men. So that's why I think it'll like make a bigger impact if she comes out as a lesbian. Yeah, for me it will personally mean a whole lot more.
I mean, I think either way it's a win for the LGBTs.
I agree. I can't. I mean, beggars can't be choosers, but I will be like extra stoked she comes out as gay.
But I also understand, like, okay, for example, what is she gonna tell everybody about Joe?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if she's gonna come out and be like, oops, that was a whole charade. But people are gonna come at me for this, but I don't think Joe and hers relationship is authentic, like, whatsoever. I do not believe they're together at all. And so if she comes out even as bisexual, then has to then say, me and Joe broke up, because it's fake. Like, I think it's better if she just ties it all.
Okay, but what about the Grammys?
I mean, Grammy Gay is a big thing, and that's kind of what originally turned me off to Joe, because again, like, I don't not believe it until I like see some evidence that it's not happening. What?
Pause for our listeners who don't know what Grammy Gate is.
Okay, so basically, long story short, in order to get a Grammy when you're like working on part of an album, you like have to participate like a certain level, like on a certain number of songs in order to like get the Grammy when the album wins Album of the Year. And originally when Folklore came out, Joe's name was not on it at all, and then at some point the pseudonym William Bowery was added to just enough songs to win a Grammy. And so Grammys came, and he was like backdated at Grammy because he was added on like after they knew they won. And so people speculate that it was like, you know, paying beards money only goes so far, and obviously a beard means like a fake boyfriend when you're gay, and so like that only goes so far that people think like, you know, she needed to offer something more valuable than money.
And well, he's also in like a particular situation, like position right here. You know, if I was someone's beard, I'd probably be like, okay, like you're about to win all these Grammys, like let's get it. Come on.
And in the Folklore Long Pond studio sessions, she talks about how he worked on like these certain songs. Like he wrote Betty, which is the gayest fucking song. So
even though he has no musical experience whatsoever.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. Like, so people have proven that like he has no musical experience. You think can he even play the piano? So I mean, it's all a bunch of bullshit. And I mean, I think it just screams that Joe's a beard, because also Calvin Harris tweeted, I even grew a beard. And I didn't get a Grammy.
I saw that.
And so why would Calvin Harris tweet that when Calvin Harris is someone else that we also know to be Taylor's beard? Yeah. Because it's just like when they dated, and like it just like wasn't authentic. And so like we can talk about who we think the real boyfriends are, fake boyfriends. So honestly, we want to kind of run through a Gaylor timeline.
Yeah, in place of queer spiracies, I guess these are still queer spiracies, Taylor's version. I have written in my notes to start off Gaylor, I said, album, gay, and I said, well, not with Blake Lively, she's pregnant. People were speculating that like Taylor was having a 3-way relationship with Rod Reynolds and Blake Lively. I still
obviously that's not happening.
I still kind of think like Ryan. I don't know why is Ryan Reynolds in that video. People thought
maybe it was a like Blake and
Ryan
were bearding, like they were with each other because they're both gay, and so then Blake was with Taylor. I don't think so.
And then Ryan was with Joe.
I think they're probably that would be good. That would literally be like the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
That's what I've heard, and I think that book is about her still. If you guys have not read that book, we
talked about it on one of the last podcasts. I also think it's weird that the author's last name is Taylor or her first name is Taylor? I think it's Taylor Jenkins.
Taylor would like release the book and then
I'm like,
also be an author.
Did she just go out of her way to like find an author who had a similar name to her that she wanted to like help out? Because also, get this, keeps me up at night. The premise of the book is a star wanting to help out this one journalist and give her first big break. Literally, Taylor writing this book under the pseudonym of another author to give her first big break is literally the whole point of the book.
She also
so
would
like maybe
would
Taylor
do
was
that.
doing that.
No,
Taylor
she would do
she
that.
doesn't need the clout.
She would do that.
She does not need the
Just
clout.
because, I don't know. Taylor Swift.
What if in the middle of her coming out, she also just like, by the way, I did write the book.
Oh my god.
I will die. Like, I hope it exceeds my expectations. And I think, like, as a gay person, that's the only way I would do it. I would exceed expectations. I would have, like, the loudest coming out. I would be a bitch about it. Like, I would point blank tell you, like, no, that shit was fake. Like, you know what? I was fooling you guys the whole time. And people were like, don't you feel bad about, like, convincing a lot of your fans that you're straight? I literally don't at all. You know? Like, and she's like, okay, well, maybe, no. I want her to just be like, what did you want me to do? I had, you go be gay.
Well,
and my straight fans don't understand because they're not gay. And until you're a gay person, don't fucking tell me how I was supposed to be gay.
no, deadass.
I hope she's a bitch about it.
No,
I hope
okay.
she's like a
Do you remember
hard
when I
ass.
first
Be like, fuck yeah, bitch Taylor's back.
when you first convinced me of Gaylor?
What was your moment?
I don't know. Maybe just like I think it was, no, I do remember. It was Dick Van Dyke.
Oh yeah.
Dick Van Dyke like really was like it made it without a doubt in my mind. No, but anyways, do you remember when you first kind of came to me with Gaylor and like I was kind of like okay maybe I was like you know what Taylor Swift has to be a lesbian because like with the amount of like Easter eggs and like crazy plotting like psychopathic shit like there's no way a straight person could have ever come with that. And not to mention she has produced like so many albums in the last year. Like straight people just do not have that much energy.
No, straight people are just like not as dedicated to like, and that's what they also
Like
don't get.
they don't
like,
have that
why
psychopathic
their
like
first-
obsession
with anything.
Yeah.
Their first question is, why would she wait this long to come out? Have you, as a gay person, like that's a crazy plan. That sounds exactly like something that could have happened to me. Like,
That's so
you know,
good.
I had my
The
own
planet
journey.
itself is gay.
You had your own journey,
Yeah.
and I understand how this very easily could have been Taylor Swift's journey to her coming out. It makes so much sense. And when I came out, I turned into a fucking bitch about it too. I was like, yo, fuck you guys. I cannot believe I had to pretend for so long.
I mean, not to mention she had other like outside influences like her record label.
Yeah, I know all we have as parents and like the potential that like getting a job might be harder one day, but like
Yeah,
for
like,
her,
yeah.
she has everybody watching
Exactly.
her.
The
But
stakes are
that's
a lot
why
higher.
I hope she comes out in an authentic way where she's like, everyone else can fuck off. Like this is what it is.
But speaking from the gay experience, I think she will.
I agree. That's what I'm saying, and I just like
You want to tell
everything
everyone,
makes
"Fuck you,
sense.
I'm gay," you know?
Yeah, and everything makes sense. Like up to now, like how she's been acting, like it all fits like a perfect gay life. Like I understand it perfectly. So if I don't understand the coming out, I'm gonna be extremely disappointed.
No, I agree. And then
But no pressure.
we should riot in the streets.
No, I think if she doesn't come out soon, we should like maybe think about if we can have a class action lawsuit against like emotional distress for her. Like what's it called? She's queer baiting us.
Yeah.
Come on, you're gonna really do all this shit? Like you're seeing
She's
it.
gonna give us back all of our money for the 4 albums we all bought.
My fucking clock that I'm gonna put on the wall. I had to buy the clock piece today.
No, if she's
Guys,
not gay, we're not installing it until it's confirmed.
Obviously not. I don't think
Yeah.
it'll come by. I mean, she's gonna come out on the album, if she
She
comes
has
out
to.
on the album. But I got the email today. Like I had it turns into a clock, and I thought I was gonna have to buy another 4 vinyls and
but
the
it comes
clock
with
piece,
it.
and I was devastated. No, I already have the 4 albums. It's the same ones, it's just the backside.
Okay, but like, what
So
about
I
the
just had to
clock
buy the
parts?
clock piece.
Okay,
I bought that.
She
It
sells
was like
that as
$50.
well, of course.
No, it did. It has Taylor Swift, and
Good
it
for
has
her.
4. It says like
Good for
meet
her.
me at midnight.
I'm also glad that she's selling all this stuff before she comes out as gay, so all the Hetlers buy it.
Yeah, well, I think it's gonna become valuable. That's so funny.
No, yeah, she's
That's
making money off the
yeah.
Hetlers first, and then she's gonna come
Well,
out and be like,
what do they think?
"You guys got the same album in every single color."
What do they think her big announcement's gonna be? Like, did she kill somebody?
no,
Like,
she's married
fine.
Joe. I don't
Oh my
know.
god, I'll throw up.
If
I
we
just
are
don't know what
in
they're
that
thinking.
version of reality where that happens, then like I'm switching.
I'm done. That's why I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna freak out. That's why I'm starting a lawsuit. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
do something
No,
dramatic
you
about
sh-
it.
you
I'm
should
done.
start a
I'm
lawsuit.
done. It's been a while. We're all riled up about it. I haven't even seen straight TikTok in a while. No, straight Taylor TikTok in a while because
even know it
there's
exists.
so much gay stuff going on. Because I'm a big Taylor Swift fan, so usually I get it. There's so much gay going on that I'm only seeing gay shit right now, and so like I don't even know what they're saying about the new album.
Okay, but I also like how people are like, oh, like all this Gaylor stuff has just started popping up online. Like that is false.
Yeah.
False.
I mean, when Rolling Stone made their article, they talked about how it's like been going on for a while.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, whoever wrote this article, I know it got approved because the story's too damn good.
Yeah.
There's not a Gaylor.
Rolling Stone is always producing like
Yeah.
solid articles though. It's not, TMZ, whatever,
Well,
the Sun.
I also just got randomly recently asked to do an article for the New York Times.
Oh.
And in it specifically, she mentioned Gaylor. And I'm like, are you going to ask me about Gaylor? Because is that also then the New York Times?
When does that come out?
Well, I don't know. She wants a quick turnaround. I think we're getting Taylor on Tuesday
Okay.
to like go through her questions.
Oh.
I'm like, okay.
Oh.
But I don't know. Maybe when we get there, like we're just not going to touch Gaylor and we're going to talk about something else. But I'm just like the fact that because they can curve it whatever the way they want. But maybe because Rolling Stone's talking about it, they're like, well, it's fair game.
Yeah.
So.
Well, everybody look out for that article of Kaylee in the New York Times.
Yeah,
Hey.
Post it. Follow me on Instagram.
That's awesome.
I'll post it on my story.
Way to go, buddy.
So, all right. So, if you're new to Gaylor, we're gonna run you through a quick timeline. So, what do we got? First album, debut.
Debut album. So, was it gay or not?
Oh, I think the debut album was gay in like a not gay way. Like maybe she made out with like a couple people like at sleepovers, but I think she didn't know she was gay. I think You Belong With Me is gay. No, that's Fearless.
No, that was that. Yeah, no, I think debut was straight, and then Fearless.
I agree, but I think debut like had some gay undertones.
For sure.
I'm only me when I'm with you. Like
That's
I think
fair.
could have been about a girl.
Yeah, tonic homoerotic situationship.
Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
That one seems gay. And when we get into like Our Song, which is also on Fearless, correct? Our Song, I swear to God, I think is gay because I think it's talking about how there's no songs on the radio that are about gay couples. So she's saying like, why couldn't they just pick a song on the radio? Like that's never been answered about Our Song.
I love that theory, and every time I listen to that song, I think about it.
Me too, and I'm like, they could have picked any song on the radio. Like, there's a lot of options. I would have just kept looking.
We don't have a song.
Because why would you not have a song? So
They didn't have a song
it's
because
literally gay
there was
as
no
shit.
lesbian songs back then. Speaking of lesbian songs, should we touch on the Fletcher album?
We can. Let's park back and touch on Fletcher. No Taylor Swift. And I have been saying that I thought there was going to be some sort of Taylor, some sort of something, and that was a little bit disappointing. What do you think? Did you listen to the whole thing?
I did listen to the whole
skimmed
thing,
through it.
and well, the thing about it is that once I listened to the whole thing, and like maybe I just have to kind of revisit it a couple times. Sometimes it takes a couple times to listen, but all of her big hits, I think she released as singles before.
And that's really different. Taylor Swift always releases her worst song ever, like as the single. Like Me is the perfect example. That song's horrible. I went off about this earlier to my girlfriend. And Fletcher, like, yeah, Becky's So Hot was like a banger. Like honestly, when that song still comes on, I'm like, I
really
keep
good.
it on. And also one of the songs in her album, like I Guess We Lied, like steals a chorus from one of her old songs called I Think We Lied or something like that.
Yeah, well, I will say she's just not the lyricist of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I love Fletcher. I love Fletcher.
what's
I'm
cool
a big
about Fletcher
fan.
though is that like she speaks to that kind of like unhinged, psychotic, like angry,
Yeah.
internal gay that I am, and that I think we all have inside of us. And she
Yeah.
says exactly what we are all thinking. You know,
she just comes right out with it.
yeah, she's just
I mean,
like,
she's literally writing songs
"Are
about
you
her
in love
ex.
like we were?"
Yeah.
You know, like have you guys not thought that? Like, or
Taylor says it by going like a really roundabout way. Like
Yeah.
the sky was a certain color. Like I'll never walk Cornelius Street again. Fletcher's like, I literally am still in love with you.
Fletcher's like, "I literally want to fuck you."
Yeah,
and
break up with your
probably
girlfriend for me.
lick
I'm
your pussy.
ready. I'm ready.
yeah.
After releasing
She
this
just says it
entire
straight
album,
up.
yeah, after releasing this entire album about like really making things awkward between us, I will still take you back. So
It's
rock
awesome.
on, rock on.
No, rock on, Fletcher. Like that's the shit I want to listen to sometimes.
Yeah, and I mean we had the whole. I mean the songs were good. Better
No, the
Version
songs
was
were good.
too.
Yeah.
Her Body's Bible, Taylor Swift
It's
reference.
just a different
I'm
vibe. You
excited.
can't compare.
I mean,
No, you can't compare her and Taylor.
no, I mean, yeah. What's gonna suck
It's
for all
just
these
different.
lesbian artists is if Taylor comes in as a lesbian, like she will then just.
So I think that maybe Fletcher or some other lesbian artists are going to guest on her new album. That's just my theory. Because okay,
I just feel like if it's a coming out album, there's no way she's gonna involve anybody else. I think it has to be
not even just lesbians. Wouldn't that be kind of legit though? If like
that would be
Fletcher
legit.
guested
I
on
don't
one
know.
song, that'd be legit.
Taylor loves to make things
and
about
she's been
herself.
pushing it. Like Fletcher has been pushing the album, whether or not she's like involved with Taylor or if she's just like doing her own thing, like trying to get the clout.
So is everybody.
I guess
pushing the
everyone
album.
is. Yeah, no, but okay,
I would
like
expect more like from Harry Styles and her.
but we know they're friends. They've hung out.
I would not expect someone like not huge. Like I think if Taylor's gonna do this, she would be like coming out with people. Like you'd have Harry Styles on the album.
Okay,
Like,
but Fletcher is huge with the lesbians.
I know. I see
Like
her
I think
making it more
Taylor
personal
is
and
trying to
about
be like,
herself.
okay, that's fair enough. She is kind of like, oh.
If you listen to any of her award speeches, it's
all
me,
about her.
it's I, and like I love Taylor, but like she does love to talk about herself, and I just don't see her sharing the coming out spotlight with maybe a little surprise. I think I would take it.
Well, it's like
myself.
Fletcher's not like coming out, you know. Fletcher is very much a lesbian, you know.
Yeah, or I think she's gonna have people come out with her or something like that, and it be a whole thing about how Taylor like led the coming out era of 2022.
I mean, we just know that she's had correspondence with like Girl in Red, Fletcher, Haley Kiyoko, like all those people.
Right.
You don't think all those people on her "You Need to Calm Down" music video, like they're all in on this? They all know Taylor Swift's gay. At least them, if not the rest of Hollywood as well.
They all know. We all know.
So I think she can
They're
really like
stuff.
surprise us with some crazy shit on this album.
I agree. I'm excited for it. All right, so it starts at the beginning.
Okay, so 2006.
We think it starts getting gay at Fearless. We have Emily Poe.
Okay.
And Emily Poe was like in her band. She like played the violin or something. They were really close, like besties. And the rumor has it is eventually like they were too close. Like everywhere Taylor was going and getting photographed, like Emily was right next to her. Like, you know, think about your high school best friend. This is exactly the situation going on. And basically like management just said, you got to get rid of her because you cannot be sharing the spotlight with her. Like you're Taylor Swift. It's not Taylor and Emily. And right now it looks like Taylor and Emily. And this is when Taylor was on her Tumblr days and like talking about women and how soft and their skin looks. Did you get any of those?
Yeah. Back in the day, Taylor would, oh my gosh, her
Take to
Tumblr
Tumblr.
posts. Yeah, her take to Tumblr. Okay, so in like early 2006, this is Taylor's MySpace bio. I've never been the kind of girl who needs a boyfriend. I don't go out looking for guys, but then again, I don't write a lot of love songs. Basically, I'm single. Or
I've literally heard of people like saying
I've
they've
seen
hooked
them
up
all
with
on
Taylor
TikTok.
Swift.
Yeah, I've seen them all on TikTok. No, in some
My
cases they are
sister's
even
friend
confirmed.
went to high school with her and like they definitely banged. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Taylor. So then we get towards like Red. I mean, Emily Poe. So I think that was like probably platonic. Like I think they were like the homoerotic best friend relationship that we all at some point have. And she actually wrote. She said, you know, when Taylor like lets out an album and she like has when you used to get CDs back in the day, it would have like descriptions of the songs and like what they meant. And
She still does that.
the song "Breathe," but nobody buys them anymore.
Some do.
Yeah, I bought all the vinyls and all the CDs. I'm
There
ready.
you go.
I'm ready for Gaylor.
Some do.
And so she said in there that the song "Breathe" was specifically about Emily Poe, and literally the song is like, "I can't breathe without you." Oh no, what is it?
And I can't breathe without you, but now I have to.
Yeah, and it's because her team literally kicked her off, and so she said in her letter to her, like, "I don't know how I'm gonna survive my career without you," because I mean, management basically broke them up, but they weren't anything. I think Taylor probably was into her, and Emily was like, "No."
Oh, like she came out to her, not even came out to her, but be like, hey, like, you know, is this a little something else? She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And Emily was like, "Ha, silly."
I know. I feel like if you're gay, like everyone's kind of, you know, had something like that.
And you feel so bad when you like overstep the boundary. You're like, but you're not
well,
making
it's
it up.
awkward.
You're not making it up.
You're young. You don't know what it's like.
But you're not making it up.
No,
you know?
you're not. You're
Yeah.
not making it up. There's
It's
something.
It's them. It's not you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was like 18, so that kind of fits around the timeline.
No, I agree. It's like the exact same time.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
So, I mean, I just feel like we don't really know, like, whatever happened between them, if anything did actually happen. But we do know Diana Agron was, like, definitely a thing, and that was towards the end of Red. So I think through Speak Now, Taylor was having her, I think I could like boys phase, like, with the actual song Speak Now. I think she was like, oh, run away from the wedding with me. Like, it will be magical. She also had other songs, like, going back to Fearless, like, Untouchable. That's like, I want you standing next to me. Like, it was all about, like, having the perfect guy next to her to, like, be on her arm as she's navigating this career rather than, like, I'm so in love with you. Like, I want you in bed on top of me.
No, exactly. And if you compare the songs kind of more towards, you know, the Gaylor era, and she's just like, literally about this dress, you would take it off my body.
Yeah, she's like, I literally want to fuck. She's like, carve your literal name into my bedpost because we're going to stay here all day. She says in one song too, like, you turn my bed into like an oasis or something, like a secret spot. I'm like, you guys are fucking all day long.
No,
that's the gayest shit I ever heard. Find me one woman who talks that excitedly about
having sex with her
boyfriend.
That's so true. That's so true. Wow.
With Joe, like, come on. Like, there's just, it's so unbelievably gay.
Yeah.
And I just, like, don't know how you can see it any other way.
The contrast between those albums, much different. Like, the way she talks about love is much different.
Well, then she talks, and you were saying in Red, like, we get to Everything Has Changed, and she's literally talking about how, like, oops, I had all this lost time that I didn't know about, and now I am back. I see Diana Agron's big green eyes and freckles, and I'm so stoked that I remembered that I liked women.
And they found Wonderland.
And they did find Wonderland. And so the big thing with that is Diana Agron's favorite movie, she's from Glee, was Alice in Wonderland, and she had an Alice in Wonderland tattoo. And then 1989 kind of tells the tale of the relationship. It's like them together, it's them apart. I mean, the album starts with girls and girls and boys and boys. It's boys and boys and girls and girls.
Now we're in like 2012?
Yeah. So we're fast forwarding. No, 2014 was 1989.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So I was in high school then, and not that matters, but she releases the song Wonderland as a bonus track on 1989, and basically is like, we found Wonderland, we got lost in it, and kind of tells the story of Diana and Taylor Swift's kind of breakup, like, throughout the whole album. And also the song, like, How You Get the Girl, is apparently about,
that's
like,
so gay.
they were going through a hard times, and you know she had to win her back. But it's from a male's perspective.
Always
and
from a man's perspective.
Yeah. The big kicker is that when the song Wonderland came out, Diana got her tattoo of Wonderland removed because she was just like, I can't be tied to Taylor Swift like this. And then she got married to a man a couple years later.
Yeah, I think that was in like 2016.
Yeah. So then we have Taylor falling off the grid because Kim Kardashian and Kanye West
We're bullying her.
They're bullying her, and she was upset.
It's kind of messed up. Oh my gosh, if you look at old videos.
No. Have you heard the theory
What?
that apparently they were gonna out her?
Oh my gosh.
I
believe it.
Okay, so I actually saw like one TikTok about this the other day. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't see it this morning when I was going through my evidence. Yeah, so apparently there was this big thing that maybe like they said, if you don't let us make this song about you, we're gonna out you. So then Taylor Swift agreed.
Taylor's like,
and then when they said, oh, Taylor gave us permission, she was so pissed because she couldn't be like, they blackmailed me. And so then Taylor just had to run away because she didn't know what was gonna happen. Like they're running away. And so then, yeah, so we lose Taylor for a while. Look, this ties
that makes a lot of sense.
Because then flash forward, we get Reputation. It's her comeback era, right?
Oh, that was
and then
awesome.
we get Lover, which then people think is tying into Midnights, correct? Mm-hmm. In Lover, the song Afterglow, people think is like a ballad to her fans, and basically she says like, I put you guys in jail for something you didn't do. We didn't do anything. We've been supportive the whole time. And then she's like, but it was all in my head. Like I was blowing this out of proportion. Like I was the one who let you guys down. But like it's gonna be cool. Like just meet me in the afterglow, which like is a reference to after midnight, you know, dawn. So she's saying like it's gonna be a thing. You guys might be pissed off, but like just meet me on the other side and I'll explain everything. That's again why I think we're gonna get a big explanation.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait.
If this blows my mind, I'm gonna be the happiest person alive forever. I'm gonna be smiling.
She better know how big our expectations are.
I hope she does. I feel like I'm begging.
I mean,
like
she's also hyping us up.
God, I mean, she's leading me on.
And shit, come on, and Carly.
Yeah, Jesus, we're gonna get to Carly later.
They're torturing us.
We have a guest star on the episode. I found this girl on TikTok a while ago. Swifty Plantica.
No.
Her name's something like that. She'll tell you later when we get her on, but she's gonna talk about, you know, kind of more of Midnights and why we think Carly's involved with it. But yeah, no, this shit's crazy. I literally cannot wait.
Yeah, if you guys are not on this right now, first of all, are you living under a rock? And second of all, you need to get on it right now.
Yeah, and if you're still someone who's like, okay, well, until Taylor comes out, like, I'm not gonna get into it. Get into it. You're already late. Yep. Get in. It's so fun. It's like discovering the craziest thing ever. Like I think when you know how like a while ago, like everybody was just homophobic because it was the thing to do. Like I think in middle school I was homophobic of myself.
I'm still homophobic of myself.
It's
called internalized homophobia, Kaylee.
I know, but I think I would be like, I would never be gay, but like, you know, I don't even know what I used to say as a fucking child. Like when I was younger, I didn't understand gay people. But then when I understood that it was okay before I even realized that I was gay, and it turned to like, I would never be gay, but it's cool if other people are gay. Like that was eye-opening for me. Yeah. And I never went back. I never then decided gay people were not okay. So it's like the same thing. The second you see Taylor's being gay, like what the fuck do you think her music has been about? How are you listening to the fullest of your capabilities without sitting there and thinking that it's gay? I don't know why I'm lecturing you guys right now.
I got angry. Yeah. If we reach into the choir.
I know, I literally just turned into like a sermon. You know when you go to church and like, well, this is not the kind of church that I used to go to.
You know when you go to church?
You know how like have you ever gone to church with a friend who goes to one of those churches where the guy's like yelling at you shit and everyone's like sobbing, like a Methodist church?
Maybe.
So Methodist churches are very like in your face kind of gospel yelling, like they sing the Jesus rock songs, and it's always like a preacher like, God loves you and you need to love him and it's your best. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, dude, I feel like this is like a meditation time, you know, like I feel like church should be calm, but instead it's yelling. So I guess that's how you get people. I mean, the Christian's been listening. If I start yelling, people will start believing Gaylor stuff, because I'm going on a rant right now, but I have a lot of content on my page. Obviously I know you guys love the lesbian drama. I love it too. If I could talk about Taylor Swift being gay every second, I would. And those videos get so much less views, and like, but the people who are into it message me and like they're into it. Like you can tell, like we
may be strong, but we are mighty.
I went to Kevin Hart's stand-up show last night, and one of his openers was talking about how the biggest cult is actually the LGBTQ community. It's kind of true. Funny. I don't know if he was the right person to say it, but it was funny. And I think what's worse than that is the subcult of us, of the Gaylors. We are like
angry women.
I will follow anything that gay woman says, but the second she's not gay.
What is it? Mad woman?
Yeah.
Cue mad woman.
Oh, she's crazy. She's fucking nuts.
She's one of us.
She is. It makes so much sense.
We'll take her.
Like, That fits. That fits.
You know, the shoe fits.
The shoe fits. Damn, I fucking
We'll
love
take you,
her.
Taylor.
Yeah,
You're welcome with us.
Yeah. We want to be invited to a secret session.
Yeah.
The Gaylor one.
I mean,
I
obviously.
have this big dream that when Taylor does come out or something, she's going to invite all us Gaylors to something.
I hope
she's
so.
gonna
Just
thank
Gaylors
us.
only.
No, she is. And we're going to be like, we knew it. We fucking knew
That'd
it,
be
bitch.
awesome.
I'll fly
Taylor,
anywhere.
yeah, we want to come.
And I hope, because the whole thing is
We'll be chill.
I know that either Taylor hates me or she loves me because, again, as a gay person,
think
I
she
would
likes
either
you.
hate myself or love myself, like, from her point of view.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we
hey,
give you nothing.
girlfriends.
Yeah, nothing but praise.
No, we literally love you. I'm obsessed
We
with you.
love
I think
you.
you're so cool. I think it's so funny that there's a huge group of us who listen to nothing but Taylor Swift music. And I'm like, every day I get in my car and I plug my phone in and I listen to this 32-year-old blonde woman sing me some stupid shit about other women. And it's phenomenal. I have a great fucking time. And so every day I'm hearing this woman's voice in my head. Every day. And that's crazy.
I've just recently found myself thinking about her like so often. Like I'm just so baffled at everything going on. Like I want to know about the album so badly.
No, it honestly, for the first week, I was like kind of upset.
No,
I'm still genuinely upset.
It's
That's what I'm doing on
torturous
rant right now.
It's torturous that she's making us wait so long.
Sometimes our
have another
editor,
month.
Sometimes our editor of the podcast tells me we get off track a little bit too much, and I'm like,
This is
it's 'cause
definitely
I'm
it.
ranting. This is one of those times. I'm like, I just get upset. I need to know so bad. We're anxious, Taylor.
I'm
We're
anxious about
gays.
it. We want to know.
If it's not everything I dreamed of, like it's going to be. I'm gonna wake up and sob.
Are you crying?
No,
Are
I
you
might.
crying,
Should I
Kaylee?
start
Are
crying?
you tearing up right now?
I can cry on command. I also think that like I will just be so devastated. I'm gonna cry either way because I'm gonna be so happy for you. I'm also a happy crier.
Yeah, me too.
But
I'll definitely cry if you come out too. I'm gonna cry either way.
I'm waiting to see like what happens when we get closer to see if we need to like wait till midnight and do something because I'm a huge Taylor fan, but like I also love to sleep and like whatever I'll listen to it at 8 a.m. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna stay up past. I'm an Eastern time.
I think we need to do a live stream or something.
No, so I'm thinking if we get closer and we still really think it's gonna be gay, we should just come over. We'll.
You think she's gonna change your mind at this point?
No, I just don't know what's coming. Again,
I
she could
know.
just say like, I dated a woman once. I just want everyone to know they're loved. And
I'm
I'd
a
be like-
liberal.
I'd be like, I don't give a fuck. I want you to literally tell me the whole story. Like, I don't need names and shit, but I need you to tell me that like I need it to be this whole episode of you've been forced closeted your whole life. Like I need it to be a thing.
I really think
I
she's
want it
gonna
to be a movement.
No,
I want
because
this to
she's-
go down
no.
in history. Like Taylor Swift changed the gay world.
Mark
but
my
out in
words.
the Hollywood.
She's gonna make a movie about it.
I agree.
She's
I think
gonna direct a
out
film
Hollywood.
about it.
I think she's gonna fuck Hollywood in the ass.
That's awesome.
And that's what she should do. Otherwise,
should do
otherwise
it.
it's gonna suck, and it's gonna not be taking all my media. Like she has to make it so aggressive that nobody can deny it.
No, she has to. Otherwise, people will still say she's straight and she's dating Joe.
I'll freak out.
Actually, an engagement announcement. I'd kill myself. No, I'm
You
kidding.
guys
I'm
would like
kidding.
not see me for days.
No. Actually, that'd be really fucked up.
Can you imagine if we're on the live stream and all of a sudden it comes out it's like her and Joe? I'll freak the fuck
That's
out.
when the lawsuit happens.
No, I'm gonna freak.
Yeah, I know.
I'm unhinged about this because I'm like, I need this. I've told so many fucking people. I actually have like straight friends texting me now, like they're on board.
Okay.
They're like, I didn't care before.
Wow.
But I like care now. And they're like, I think she's gay. And
I
I'm
know.
like, I have been thinking she was a homosexual. So
You're welcome.
yeah.
So where were we?
Yeah, where are we in the timeline? So we're getting up to. We were at 1989.
So okay,
and then
so
she went away.
Diana and Taylor. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was tough. How long did she go?
Well, so usually we got an album every 2 years, and she toured 1989. I've actually been to all of Taylor's concerts, so she toured 1989.
Better go to the next one.
I know. Oh, I'm going. I was gonna miss Loverfest, and then COVID canceled it. Like I couldn't pull it off with whatever I was doing. Like it was far. It's like it was in Chicago or like LA. There was only two options. I couldn't.
Yeah,
pull
there
it off.
wasn't a bunch of locations.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, fuck, this is gonna be the first one I missed, but now I'm good.
There you go.
I'll be at the next one. I just need to look Taylor in the eyes, and then I'll know if she's gay. It's all in the
Yeah.
eyes. I'm like, oh, I see you. Which is funny because she
you
talks
can
about a lot of
tell?
songs. Like I think like one of her songs is like we locked eyes from across the bar, and I was like, yep, I'm gonna talk to her. It's because it's gay. It's how you know.
Yeah, if they just like make eye contact for a little too long,
Yeah.
you're like, yeah.
Yeah, so Taylor goes away during Reputation. This whole time we think she's dating Carly, for lack of better words. I mean, the baked cookies tweet.
Oh, probably. Well, they went to Big Sur in 2013.
Yep.
No, they went to Big Sur in 2014. They met in 2013 at the Victoria's Secret fashion show.
Which is funny because I don't know if you guys have seen this clip on TikTok, but basically when they start the Victoria's Secret fashion show together, they walk out holding hands in their matching outfits, and it starts with Taylor singing the word Midnights. Like, I can't even make it. She's like, Midnights. What's that song? Wake me up, no headlights.
And a burning
Out of the Woods? Is it Out of the Woods?
No, I don't think so.
Midnights.
Paradise.
Style, it's style.
Which is about Diana Agron.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd
people think that a lot of people are inclined to believe that it's about Harry Styles.
Oh, I know this.
But
and they think Wonderland's about him, but a lot of stuff is about
hardcore Gaylors think that about Diana.
Yeah, rock on. We love the hardcore Gaylors. So yeah, so then Taylor goes away, and then she comes back, and we get Reputation, which has everyone thinking it's about all these fucking songs are about Joe, and everyone's like, shut the fuck up, they're literally not. And one of the ones I heard recently was the song Call It What You Want. If you like listen to the undertone of the guy, he's saying like, call it what you want, call it what you want, call it. But the last call it sounds like how Taylor says Carly. Like I say Carly like Carly. She says it like Carly, like call it, because she like has a weird enunciation. Like, yeah, literally that's it. You did it perfectly.
Thank you.
And so people are like, shit, she's literally dropping hints. Dress
is the gayest song I've ever heard in my entire life.
Continue. It's so gay.
So gay.
I don't want you like a best friend. Like, fuck.
All about this dress so you could take it off.
Yeah. And then we get Lover, which...
Not to mention the sex noises in the song.
Yeah. What was she doing to us? She's like, guys, I figured out that women do it better. And
then my name into your bedpost.
Yeah. And then I'm telling you, her songs about men are like, I want you to stand next to me and say hi to my father. Literally, like the way she sings about women is like real life, like real fucking life. The way she sings about men is so boring.
Also, so like Romeo and Juliet is like a play off of. It's like I don't know. She's what I wanted my hetero relationships to feel like. Then I realized it wasn't happening for me. You know.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's why everything about Taylor makes sense. Like I've been there. I have lived that. Like I get it. Like the way you talk about them is the way I used to talk about them. Like it makes sense. And so in Lover, we get like, you know, they're a great relationship. You're my lover. But we also get Death by a Thousand Cuts and them also breaking up. And which was really tragic for Taylor, obviously. Which apparently Lover is supposed to tie into Midnight. So I don't know where the album's gonna go.
Do you think it's the sister album?
Well, what I think happened is everyone also thinks there was this album called Karma at some point. Like, I don't know what that's all about, but actually I do, but we can't get into that right now. But I think that maybe Lover was supposed to be a different album. Like, it was supposed to include a lot of, like, songs about her wanting to come out. And then when Coming Out got canceled and they needed to just make it Lover, they just, like, cut the songs that were obviously coming out and, like, fed in some pop songs. And so now maybe Midnights is, like, what Lover was supposed to be when her and Carly were gonna come out together. I don't know. I mean, that's just me talking shit.
So you think they were at some point?
I think at one point there was a plan for them to come out together.
I'm sure. Oh, like, what about your promises? That was Red, though. But it was, like a vault track.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff like the Miss Americana documentary, and we get into that later with our guest star, but...
So anyways, in 2013, met Carly, and then since then, it was really just, I don't know.
They were dating.
Yeah, it was everything from there.
They
yeah,
lived in
everything.
Cornelia Street together.
Everything.
She snuck into the Garden Gate.
Honestly, like, her love songs are just, like, so romantic, Taylor. Like, why do you do that to me?
Yeah. And then I also think, like, maybe Coming Out was somewhat stunted by COVID. Like, obviously, she didn't know COVID was happening, but, like, maybe she had a plan to come out, like, after Lover or, like, do something on her own, but, like, COVID happened, and she was so sad about breaking up with Carly. She just had to, like, feed into these super gay albums.
Evermore and Folklore were tragic. Like, tragic.
It took me a second to honestly get into Folklore because I was, like, kind of happy when it came out, and I was like, this is too sad for me. Like, I'm in a relationship. Like, I'm good. And then all of a sudden, like, Evermore came out, and then I went back to Folklore, and I'm like, this shit rocks. Yeah. Like, fuck yeah, Taylor, I love it.
What about genre? People are talking that it's gonna be a completely different genre.
I saw someone say rock. I think some places have it. Someone had it listed as rock, like some platform.
Oh yeah.
And someone else I saw it said pop the other day. I don't know. I think it's gonna be like a mix between Lover and like Folklore Evermore. So like a poppy. I don't know. I think it's gonna be super intimate. Everything looks like it's gonna be slower, folklore-esque.
Yeah, the album covers and stuff.
People are talking about how it's like relating to Mirrorball. So like I don't know. I think it's gonna be like a little bit of both. A little bit of all over the place. What do you think?
I have no idea what Miss Swift is gonna give us.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about how I think Carly is involved with the Midnights coming out kind of whole thing. And as I was looking through research, I came across this one girl on TikTok, and her username is Swifty Plantica because her name is Annika. And we'll plug her. I'll put it in the caption.
She does something with plants too.
Yeah, she's
another side plant account. Yeah.
No, and she said that she has a main account, and then she started a side account just to talk about Taylor Swift, and it's actually like doing well for her. But when I was looking through research, it was just all her account was what I was taking from. So I was like, you know what? Better said from the source.
Yep.
So I hit her up and I said, you want to come on, talk in the podcast? She said, absolutely. Was so flexible with us all day. I kept changing the time.
We got an expert for you guys.
Yeah, we've decided that, you know, when we aren't the experts on a subject, we bring an expert.
There we go.
We follow legal standards in this closet.
Of course, nothing but the best for you.
Yeah, so let's tune in and welcome our guest, Annika, to talk about Gaylor and Midnights and all that jazz. So,
woo, Annika, let's go.
Thank you so much. So I'm Annika. My TikTok is Swifty Plantica, and I basically woke up one morning. I have a main TikTok account as well where I post just all sorts of bullshit, and I woke up one morning and I was like, I need to make 10 individual videos about Taylor Swift. but most of the people who follow me probably don't care about Taylor Swift. So I'm going to create a little space to do that. And the irony of that now is my main account I've had for like, what, 2 years? This account I started 2 weeks ago and it gets way more engagement. People care way more about Taylor Swift.
Oh, the
than they
Gaylors
do
are
about
crazy.
I
me.
also
Yeah.
think that your account's doing so well because it is so niche and specific to Gaylor. And like I
Yeah.
love when I see an account like that. Like I don't want to see your bullshit. I want to see the Gaylor stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let's get the tea.
Yeah. So that's awesome. I also your knowing your name makes more sense about your username. I was like Swifty Plants. I was so confused.
Like
Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
Say her username.
I study plants. I'm a plant biologist, and so
that's
that's
sick.
where the Plantica comes from. But now
that's
it's
awesome.
all turned into a big confusing little riddle.
So being a Gaylor is just your side hobby.
It's the side hustle,
Yeah.
and hustle don't take literally because it makes me absolutely no money. But
We feel that.
Yeah, no,
it provides me with the currency of attention, which is always a fun little.
We also
That's
feel
exactly
that.
what it is. Yeah. Wait, so how have you like always been a Gaylor? Or did you just like because I know you just said you just started the second account, but like before that, were you a Gaylor?
I became a Gaylor in 2019 because I had a little party and one of my friends brought one of his friends who was a lesbian also. And she gathered us all around like towards the end of the evening and she brought us into the world of Gaylor. And when
That's
she
hilarious.
presented it, I could kind of tell that like she was worried about coming across as unhinged and like didn't want to show that she really believed in it, but I could like tell she kind of did. And so then I went down the rabbit hole and I was like, no, like this shit is real. Like this woman is a sapphic.
Yeah.
It's real.
No, I feel like
Mhm.
Mel made fun of me for a while.
Oh
They
my
were
gosh,
like,
yes.
okay.
Oh my gosh,
Gaylors,
yes.
yay. I was like, I'm literally telling you because once you see it, it's something that you seriously cannot unsee.
Well, because it's really something that the mainstream media has not covered at all up until like
Yeah.
very
They
recently.
won't, and it's funny because like if you compare it to Harry Styles, they're calling that man gay all the time. It's because like society, everybody likes men,
Mhm.
and so even if Taylor's bisexual, I don't think so, but even if she is,
Mhm.
they would still say she's straight and just ignore it because they just like to use the whole man thing.
Absolutely. And I always kind of compare it to Santa Claus. Like when you were a kid, if you
Like
ever
metaphors?
dared to be like, Santa Claus isn't real, people would hate you for it. And they'd be like, you're obviously fucking stupid. But once you suddenly see, when you think that Santa Claus is real, there are all these weird inconsistencies. How is he getting to all these houses and why? Like something's not adding up. But as soon as your mom sits you down and tells you, no, girl, Santa Claus is not real, this is how it happens, everything fits into place and moving forward everything makes sense and you can't just revert back to thinking
No.
he's not real because it's just not in line with reality.
No, you're so right. I actually saw some TikTok the other day that was saying like, what do the Hetlers think like all the Easter eggs are like for? Just new albums? Like what are they so excited about all the time? Like, oh my god, the next album cover is gonna be green.
Like I actually
Yeah.
have no idea. Like, what do they even talk
What
about?
do you think her music's
what
like
do
going
they talk
on?
about?
I
What
don't
is
know.
Hitler TikTok like?
They just like talk about Joe and how things are like anytime they can tie something to Joe, they get really excited.
Like what the like
Mhm.
4 times
It's
he's ever
really
mentioned.
boring. It's really boring.
Yeah,
They are like one of the 7 wonders of the world to me
it's
because
crazy.
it
The
makes
illusion.
absolutely no
I
sense.
literally don't know like what they're gonna do. Like I'm embarrassed for them. Like I feel so bad. And like we've been trying to tell you. We've really been trying to tell you. And
Like, we've
anybody who wants
spelled
to
it
switch
out.
sides, like come on over. I'm not gonna gatekeep it because like you guys are already so late. You can't possibly catch up. So like
Yeah.
whatever, join our
So much
side.
ground to
You're gonna
cover.
be shook. And especially like straight accounts who just like never talk about it. Like they don't mention it one way or another. And just like, you know, they think she's dating Joe, whatever. I wonder what they're gonna do if it's like a coming out album because they're gonna have to be like,
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, she's
shit.
gay.
You're gonna have to say something.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Because you can't just like gloss over like, oh yeah, new music. Oh, it's gonna be hilarious.
And like the Taylor Swift main Reddit page has like basically prohibited any Gaylor mention on it for
Really?
years. And they only started allowed like they left up one post with Insider came out with an article talking about her songs through a queer perspective. And that was like the first one they've ever allowed up. So things are changing, but it's definitely
Like
gonna
recently,
be
like they just
embarrassing.
allowed it recently.
Yeah, like in the past week or whenever, like there was an Insider
It's
article
like the
released.
Rolling Stone.
I know, big win for the gays.
Mhm.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
The gays
crazy.
are winning.
It's awesome.
I know.
We've been waiting so long.
I know we've been waiting so long. This is why, you know, this
Yeah.
deserves an entire episode of the
Yeah.
podcast.
Okay,
This is
no,
big news.
Yeah, this is big news. Okay, so the reason I specifically brought you, and I know I mentioned this to you, is people are thinking that like Carly is somewhat in on this, and I
Yes.
agreed from the beginning, because obviously, like, if Taylor comes out, she outs a lot of people along the way with her. So, like, you have to get some agreement there. Also, we don't know, like, in what capacity she's gonna come out, how much she's gonna say, like, even if it's still gonna happen. And so I feel like the clues from Carly are just like making this so insane. Because I'm like, I didn't know you guys were friends again. Like,
I even saw a TikTok that said they were like back together, which I mean,
well, she's posted with
is
the husband, but maybe he's a beard too. That would not be crazy because he's like a whole Trump family thing. Like, they would want a beard.
I do.
But then what
think
happens when she comes
Hazelbeard-
out?
I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows.
I know.
Have you seen all her
Nobody
TikToks
knows.
about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's Instagram posts, like she is really laying it on thick.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Okay, did you actually see that TikTok where when they were on the Victoria's Secret fashion show together, like it starts with "Midnights" is like the first line Taylor says when she walks out, like holding Carly's hand.
No fucking way.
I'm gonna have to send it to you after. Yeah. So
I would love to see that.
no, they walk out like holding hands, and it's like midnight. It's the first word they say at the show.
They are terrorizing us.
No,
I
I
really
know.
believe it.
And so I know, I mean, if you just want to go off about like the outfit thing, yeah, just give us your scoop. What do you think the most compelling evidence is that it's like she's in on it?
You have the floor.
Okay. Yeah. So just to give a brief outline of my whole entire take on this. So I do believe that Taylor Swift was originally going to come out in the Lovers era. And then Carly, it was just after her marriage to Jared Kushner. Carly decided that if Taylor was going to come out, she wasn't going to come out with her. And that, along with a bunch of other things, resulted in Taylor not coming out. There's like so much evidence for that. There's not enough time to get into. I am going to probably be making a video with more in-depth evidence about this, but Taylor basically confirms this in her song Right Where You Left Me, where she's like screaming about how this song is about Karlie Kloss and how they broke up and Carly got married, glass shattered on the white cloth, which is a Jewish wedding tradition, and Carly's wedding was Jewish, forcing Taylor to like stay in the closet. And she's like, you left me no choice but to stay here together. I believe that in the time since then, Carly was kind of trying to distance herself from Taylor Swift, but I think she's realized in the past year, like it's going to be more profitable for her to associate herself with Taylor Swift. I don't actually think
True.
I don't think they're dating personally, but I love the people who do. Like, I support y'all so much. I'm a Taylor for life, and I honestly hope they are.
No,
I think the situation,
I would die if it's like a whole big like beard thing. Like, well, the whole thing is that doesn't make sense because we do know they obviously broke up. I mean, Taylor just released 2 tragic albums, so like, it would be crazy if like after all that, after closure, like everything, they did end up getting back together. And I don't also see how that really aligns with like Midnights being planned 3 years in advance. Like, you don't know breakups. Like, you can't time that.
No.
Yeah.
But I agree that, you know, Taylor also would have to be like, okay, obviously this outs you too. How do you want to handle that? And maybe Carly was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to get on with it.
Yeah.
Like, get on board.
I would like to believe they're still together, but probably not.
I can totally see them. Like, at most, I can see them doing the lesbian thing where it's like you break up and you have like your public facing boyfriend and husband, but like maybe like hook up every now and again on the side. But that's just me talking out of my ass. I don't actually know anything. But I do think Carly has decided, because it's really difficult for Taylor to come out of the closet without outing Carly, because like y'all have said, Carly's a huge part of the Taylor Swift is gay story. And so Carly's saying, okay, you know what, like I'll come out as bisexual too. And if I'm going to be coming out, like I'm going to capitalize and profit off of this. Hence now all of these blatant leaks. So if we want to just jump into the specific evidence.
Yeah, go for it.
Basically, ever since the album has been released, Carly has been calling out so loudly that she's attaching herself to the Midnights album. Like 2 days after it was announced, she posts a TikTok where she names Midnights in the caption of her TikTok. And if that wasn't obvious enough, just to make sure no one misses it, she also includes the song on her TikTok as Gimme 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 a Man After Midnight.
I thought that was extra funny because I had a viral TikTok like a couple months ago saying how nobody like goes harder to that song than a bunch of lesbians at the bar. And it was also like I had screenshotted it from like a viral tweet. So like it was really viral like a month ago. Like that song being attached to lesbians. Like I think my TikTok got a couple million views, and I know the tweet had millions by the time I saw it. I'm like,
Carly
of all
definitely
songs.
saw your TikTok. Like,
Oh, they definitely saw. She
saw
definitely
me.
saw.
I'm like, that was at me, but like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything because everyone's gonna think I'm crazy. But that was at me.
no, she's always lurking. I feel so much certainty in my heart that she's trying to like give her slut a little. Like,
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
in on lesbian TikTok too. Like, I see what y'all are saying.
Good for
And
her.
then, yeah, I respect it, Carly.
We
Carly,
love
if
you,
you ever,
Carly.
I think personally, both Taylor and Carly will come out as bisexual, but like if you guys are listening, if you ever want to come out as lesbians, we will have you.
I'm gonna
We'd
be
so
devastated
happy.
if she comes out as bisexual.
There's no way that she won't, because if she
I'm
just
gonna
comes
be
out as a
so upset. It's
lesbian,
gonna be worse.
what are they gonna say about all of her ex-boyfriends?
I don't know. Maybe like you can change, you know.
I
I
guess.
dated boys at one point and I'm like I identify as a lesbian now, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
So she was those were
True.
phases. She had man phases. That's what I hope she
What
says.
about
We
her
all
current
go
phase?
through them.
He's fake.
So is she gonna say
He's
that?
okay.
Yes,
Here's
she
the
has
thing.
to.
He's definitely fake. Also, just beware. People are gonna like literally send you death threats for that. People are so fairly attached to Joe. I completely agree. You're right. Joe's
Come at us.
definitely PR.
Yeah, someone
But
said he got like
yeah.
plucked out of an acting school, like to be her boyfriend.
No,
Like,
literally,
there's
yeah.
literally proof of like I don't know if it's
I
proof,
believe
but
it.
people have said that. All right, anyways, continue on with your evidence.
Yeah. So everyone's obviously popping off in the comments like, oh my gosh, Carly, like these Midnight's connections. She's saying in the comments that she's seeing them. So she knows we're making these connections while she goes through all of like her other deranged hints. The biggest damning piece of evidence in my mind is she's part of an investor group that owns W Magazine. And W Magazine released this huge 50th anniversary where there were actually 17 individual covers about different models. Carly was one of them. And in her photos of this shoot with the magazine that she owns, there are just such blatant, obvious calls to the Midnight's imagery. And this came out on, I think, September 6th. So, like a week after it was announced. There's a photo of her in like this darkly lit room with just like one light, like investigating something on her table with the two like props that are placed prominently are a clock and lighter fluid.
Not the clock.
Mhm.
Not the clock. Could totally be coincidental on its own, right? But then she has this other like photo of her doing this funny little pose in a dark hallway holding a literal candle and like making this, which is just seems like a very blatant reference to the Emily Dickinson quote that Taylor pointed to in her albums and or her Midnight album announcement post, which is like we go out with lanterns looking for
Not to mention the
ourselves.
album cover.
Yeah, no, seriously.
And yeah, so those on their own could be coincidences, but I think it's the most damning piece of evidence because if you take it in conjunction with all of the other pieces of evidence, it's clear Taylor's intentionally or Carly is intentionally referencing Midnight's. And there's no way. I used to work in the fashion industry. You cannot put together an entire cover and photo spread and interview with photographers and content designers and makeup and hair people and all the editing within a span of 8 days. Like,
No, there's the only excuse or the only reasoning would be that someone who was in charge of the magazine was like playing a really bad joke and like somehow knew like
yeah,
somehow had a connection to Taylor and knew and then just was like, oh, this is a great idea. Like there's no way. People in
There's
Hollywood,
no
like
way.
there's only so many amazing photographers. Like
No, there's no
secrets
way.
get around.
Mhm.
Everyone in Hollywood knows she's gay too.
Yeah, I get that sense as well. And I don't know specifically that like Taylor was giving Carly inside information about Midnight's before it came out, but with like she definitely knew about it before it came out. The other biggest thing that just made me start screaming was in late July, Carly came out. It's not her perfume, but she's the face of the
Oh, I
perfume.
saw
She's a
this.
brand ambassador for it with a literal perfume called Midnight.
that's like what that cannot be anything else.
No.
They're screaming at us like if this was the only thing that happened, like sure, I can believe that you could name a perfume Midnight a month before this Midnight's album is announced purely by accident, but the fact that she is blatantly attaching herself to Midnight, thinking that this one, like the most blatant attachment was just a coincidence, is so laughable to me. Like
That's
she
crazy.
knows. Yeah. And then if all of that wasn't enough to get people talking, She posts on Instagram twice her in this like very glittery silver mirror ball dress that looks like a lot of the mirror ball looks that Taylor has been wearing. Mirror Ball is a song by Taylor Swift that a lot of people have been associating with the Midnight's album. And if that wasn't enough for us to make the connection to Taylor, she posts on her story her in this dress with the disco ball, aka the mirror ball
I
emojis,
can't
and then
believe she did that.
just to terrorize us a little more.
Like,
Just
why is nobody listening to us?
They're
Like,
having so much fun.
we're screaming from like the top of the roof, and
Oh,
like
they're
nobody gives a
listening.
shit except like for other Gaylors.
I can imagine just like Taylor Swift, Carly Kloss, just like scrolling through TikTok, just laughing,
Like, oh, did
evil
you see this
laughing.
one?
giggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are like, I'm sure, having the time of their lives, especially because if you try to talk about this with anyone like not in the community, you sound absolutely crazy. But
So
it's like,
crazy. Yeah.
No.
The second Taylor comes out, the first person I'm telling is my mom.
Oh,
Like,
I
she
can't.
literally, she doesn't
I
care.
know.
Like, my mom couldn't care less. Like, she just doesn't care about Taylor Swift, wouldn't bother her at all. But she's just like,
Gonna read it in a magazine.
what do you
call
what do
you?
you mean? You know, like she's just
Mhm.
like, why do you keep talking about Taylor being gay? Like, she's dated all these boys. Like, what are you guys on? What are you guys on? And I'm just like, I told you it was true.
No, I cannot wait
I've
until my
seen
mom
the
calls me
truth.
and says, "Did you see this? Did I see this, mother? Did I see this?"
I
Like,
saw
I've been
this
on this
months
for a
ago.
year. Yeah. Well, one of the other things, and I want to know if you've heard this theory, is so everyone thinks that like Midnight's might be attached with like a movie of some sorts.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And someone said that the first movie was Miss Americana, and the song is
Mhm.
Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. So they think we're gonna get the Heartbreak Prince version of the thing, which I also think is funny because I did like an analysis on like one line of that song recently, saying how I think the line
I
"bad
love
bad
this
girl,"
video, by the way.
yeah, how the line "bad bad girl" was talking about like the person in the song, which is so funny because then Carly starts calling
Mhm.
herself a good girl or a good girl in her perfume. Did you see that?
That is funny.
She's calling herself a good girl, and I'm like, oh my god, that lines up with the bad girl
Yeah.
being the Heartbreak Prince, and I'm like, maybe we're gonna get the
Completely.
Heartbreak Prince version,
Mhm.
or so maybe she's like, you know, she's either like, you know, the all-American girl, or she is like the girl swooping in and stealing people's from their boyfriends, and she's the Heartbreak Prince. I don't know, maybe Taylor's both of them.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I could see Carly as being the Heartbreak Prince.
Oh,
I can
for
also see Taylor as
sure.
being it. Yeah. I do think there's going to be a third movie. Her and Netflix do have like a 3-movie contract. And like you said, like it just the way that the movie was set up seems like there's going to be a sequel. There's been a lot of rumors too. These are like unsubstantiated to my knowledge, but there's been a lot of rumors about like film crews associating themselves with
Oh yeah, the
Taylor.
Project Acorn.
Was it with Disney or with Netflix? Because I heard
Netflix.
Disney.
I think both actually.
Right?
I think she has a
Disney.
movie deal
No,
with.
I heard she also has some contract with Disney. I think she has already one of her movies is on Disney. I don't think it's like one she produced. I think it's like a
All she has is Reputation, the Stadium Tour, and Miss Americana, right?
yeah. No, one of them
She also
is on
has
Disney.
Long Pond Studio Sessions.
Yeah, I
and
think that's the one that's on
Oh.
Disney. That's the one that's on Disney.
Mhm. And people think that there's going to be an Evermore Long Pond Studio. I don't know like what the movie contract is with Disney, but I've also heard that there's at least one movie missing from that contract.
Mm-hmm.
And I could totally see it being like an Evermore Long Pond Studio Sessions. And maybe she didn't want to talk about that beforehand because there's no way to talk about Evermore without being like, I'm
There's
so
literally
gay.
just no way to talk about it. Like you just have to
Yeah.
keep it silent. Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Which is also crazy to me because Disney, even like recently, they've been like subtly pushing like the gay agenda a little bit, but like people have been freaking out
They've been
about
doing
it.
it for a while since like one of the Finding Nemos when they made like a lesbian couple at the theme park.
Well, most recently with Buzz Lightyear. So Buzz Lightyear, I
Wait,
guess,
is
had
Buzz Lightyear a little fruity?
so I guess there's like a new Buzz Lightyear movie out, and like there's a single scene in there with like two moms that are gay and they
They
like
love the
kiss.
lesbians. They
Yeah,
always
no,
love
they're
the-
trying, but like
Me
the
too,
parents,
honestly.
the parents are freaking out. Like they're like, no, like
They
they're
kiss?
pushing the gay agenda. I think no, I'm pretty sure the Buzz Lightyear movie is banned in a couple countries.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, look it up. Look it up. It's crazy. So that's what also surprises me.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know, guys. This is gonna be crazy. With Taylor Swift coming out, like, oh my gosh, like
It's gonna
everyone-
alter reality.
No,
We're
everyone's gonna
super
come
no,
on.
literally.
I'm so
People are
excited.
going to melt where they stand. I cannot. Well, folklore is like very straight coded in a way that's like seems so laughable almost. And I heard about this on a podcast and I don't remember what one. I think it was the Archer podcast, but they talked about how because that film was going to be released internationally on Disney Plus. One of the producers on the movie is like Taylor Swift's lawyer, who is known for being very sensitive to international relations, and so it's thought like it had to be so misleadingly hetero just so that it could be, you know, streamed in all sorts of countries.
Makes sense.
Crazy. That's crazy.
It makes sense.
Mhm.
I mean, as much as even the backlash here is about, you know, all this new gay media coming out, like other countries, they're not even there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But honestly, I think this is gonna be huge. Like, not even like, you know, put pop culture aside, just put, you know, LGBTQ rights. I think this is gonna be huge for everyone because Taylor is such a big star. I think she's really gonna help us, you know, take that next step.
I also think we've lived a lot of, like, there's been a lot of people, like Emily Dickinson is someone who, like, now we look back and they're like, oh my gosh, they were queer the whole time. And we're just now realizing that. I think it's really impactful that she's coming out, like, split in the mirror, like, the middle of her career. Like, she's still young. And that's going to be crazy that she's going to have had, like, a whole straight career. Usually people get to the end and then say something.
Well, she has to do it now.
But Ellen's someone similar who came out, like, in the middle of her career. But, like, Ellen is just Ellen. Like, that's
Ellen was
really
really trailblazing. But the thing is that if Taylor Swift waits any longer, like right now, like being gay is hot, you know, like it's trending. Like Jojo Siwa's out there, like, you know, being gay with the kids.
We're also like aggressively bullying her into doing
it.
Sue for emotional distress.
But I think if she were to wait a few more years, it would be like, okay, so what? You know?
I feel the same way. And I also think that people would be more critical of it because they would be like, you didn't come out when there was like any political risk in America. If it's a few years down now, like with all of the anti-gay legislation being passed last year, like there definitely is risk, and especially considering her status as a global pop star. But I think people aren't going to be, I think people will always generally, at least gay people will always be very welcoming and happy that she's coming out, but it'll definitely be more meaningful if she does it in a time where like she actually does stand to have something to lose.
Well, I think right now is like actually the perfect time. I think it couldn't have worked out better for her plan. Like, this is the perfect time to come out.
Not only something to lose, but she also has like legs to stand on, you know, like she has she's producing her own music. Like, she can do whatever she wants. Nobody can tell her no. Whereas before, she didn't really have that same ability.
Yeah,
completely. She's like untouchable now.
Yeah, of course, she's untouchable. So which is awesome.
And I do think that I feel strong. I mean, it's like a video series about this because I went way too into detail, but I'm convinced now that Miss Americana was originally going to be a coming out documentary.
I've heard that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And then there was like all this stuff. I think that the biggest reason she didn't come out during the era was number one, because Carly wasn't going to do it alongside with her. And then apparently, like, one of the days that she was gonna come out, when she was doing like a surprise performance at Stonewall, which, first of all, you do not book a straight ally to play a performance at Stonewall during Pride Month. That to me is like proof she was gonna come out, because
that should be enough evidence right there with everything else aside.
Who books a straight ally Stonewall? It just doesn't. But then, like, there was all like Scooter, you know, obviously bought all of her past music, and if she comes out, people are going to be flooding to all of those past songs to look for gay hints. But now that she's, you know, in the process of owning all that work, it's also like more financially feasible for her to do so. But I do think, I guess tying it back to Carly, is I do think Carly, whether or not Carly is working with Taylor, and Taylor has been telling her all of the Midnight's, you know, imagery and aesthetics prior to being announced, which I actually do believe now, it's clear that Carly's signaling at the very least, like, I'm comfortable being associated with the Taylor Swift story. And when Taylor comes out with the Midnight's album, I want y'all to be thinking of me, which to me is just a very loud signal of I'm comfortable being out of the closet. There was also this. So in the W magazine interview, she talks a lot about how, like, she wants to represent something more for girls and like take a stand, or a lot of words like that. But Code with Clossy, her like coding brand, recently posted and then immediately deleted this tweet that is so funny to me, because if you don't take it in the context of Taylor Swift, it just sounds like blatant homophobia. She posted this like little, I don't even know what it was. It's a little circle with the rainbow colors, very gay. And it's posed carefully with all these props in the background. So it was like, it wasn't just a spur of the moment. Like this was a planned out photo shoot with this little gay circle that says "Learn from your mistakes" on it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I think in Taylor Swift context, like Taylor in her album talks about how she may be making a fateful life altering mistake. So I think it was kind of like
another like cute to Taylor, and everyone's like, is being gay a mistake? Like,
yeah,
guys.
Like, are y'all about to hate crime us?
Yeah. It's like we did not expect this from you, Carly. Like we thought you were on our side.
We thought you were one of us.
Yeah.
I think it's referencing like, I don't know, like Carly learning from her mistakes.
I know
like,
that's what it was,
how,
but like
you know,
when it came across, it was really homophobic.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like,
If you're not,
Yeah.
if you're not in
about
on it
them,
all,
yeah.
Which I mean, it's kind of
Mhm.
it's so hard once you're in it to take a step back and view it from, you know, a straight perspective.
I mean, I feel like Carly's gonna have to make some sort of statement. I don't know, like in what way, but I agree with what you're saying. Like either way, if Taylor was to come out, we'd all be looking at Carly like, oh my gosh, like, did you see this? And she's just making it clear ahead of time that she's seeing this.
Yeah.
And it is cool. That's a cool perspective. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
Well, any, future predictions? I know you got to go to class. So what do you got?
I feel so strongly every time Taylor has released something about Midnights that seems gay and we all scream about how this is gay and this is going to be a gay album. What does she do? She does something even gayer.
She doubles
And so
down.
I feel like 99% confident at this point Midnights is going to be a coming out album, and I think that Carly will also be coming out with her.
I like those odds. I like those odds.
Final question though. Do you think she's gonna how do you think the coming out's gonna go? Do you think she's gonna release the music and it's just gonna be blatantly gay and she's not gonna say anything about it like she has kind of in her past albums? Or do you think she's gonna come out and be like, I'm gay, I'm bisexual?
I think it's gonna be in the paragraph that we get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just gonna say it.
Yeah.
Or she's gonna like make some like, I don't know, like poetic.
I
like,
think she's gonna speak it. I don't know, what do you think?
I think that she is going to do it explicitly, especially because I do think there's going to be a follow-up Netflix movie probably about it. That I'm like not confident on, but
she's probably gonna direct it.
Probably, yeah.
She's one of the songs is just called "I'm Gay."
I hope so.
But I do think it'll be explicit because I think she wants to like align herself more with gay issues.
I think she's also
it's
realized
gonna be weird for her to do that if she's not.
She's realized that no matter how loud she screams it, unless you say explicitly, "I am gay, I am a homosexual,"
yeah, she's got
people won't believe it.
That's why she can't like people with any questions.
Yeah.
She's got to have a full plan exactly. And I know like nowadays people don't like to identify. She's gonna have to identify. Like people are gonna be freaked. Like, I'm sorry, Taylor, but you're gonna have to identify some way because people, you got to tell them.
This is the world we live in.
Ignore it.
Completely.
Okay, well, you were a great guest.
No, that was awesome.
We got
Thank you so much.
We kept it longer than I said we would.
Yeah.
But
okay, I will talk about this for hours. So I
yeah.
appreciate you guys having me on. Y'all are great. And thank you for all of the true work you have done for Topia. We on TikTok would be way worse off without y'all. So
I know, that's so funny. That's why you guys have taken the Gaylor work. I started TikTok as a Gaylor. That was like the first way I took my platform, and then I kind of transitioned. My work now is easier. It's a lot more like hectic. Like it comes faster and goes faster, but like the amount of time that I used to have to take to like put into analysis of Gaylor shit, it's a lot of work. So I'm glad I saw your account. I was like, hell yeah, another one.
We're growing in numbers. We'll take over the world soon.
Oh yes. Oh yes, we will.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed episode 5, Gaylor themes.
Taylor's version.
Gaylor's version. You know she's okay with the terms because of Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, let us know, comment, subscribe, do whatever you guys do. Let us know what you want to see next time. Hopefully we get another one of these out soon. I mean, October 21st come, we might live something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we might have a little party.
So let us know what you guys want to see. Follow us on our socials. My link trees and my Instagram bio, Kales_0. And we look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Stay gay.
Let's get out of here. Oh, drama. No one loves, but we love lesbian drama.
We love lesbian drama.